leadership comes from different angles. You have traditional leaders, you have religious leaders, you have social leaders, you also have political leaders, and then you have spiritual leaders. You have different forms of leadership. But if I need Kumakiana about political leadership, re-establishing that real Igbo political leadership, let me quickly throw this open. Do we have political leaders in Igbo, if you are asked?
Currently, from the concept of what we have on ground, the true situation of things, we don't have political leadership in Igbo land today.
If you think we don't have, well, then do our governors,
They are
National Assembly representatives, and all that. What
you
are
see,
they doing?
let us now take the concept of leadership. What is leadership? If you say you're a leader, what makes you a leader? Leadership is not a title. Leadership is not something you confer on somebody as a chieftaincy title. No. Leadership is something that you can feel, you can see. It's something, when you say somebody is a leader, then there are people who are following. A leader is someone that inspires the people, someone that motivates the people, somebody that shows the way, somebody that goes before the people, somebody that can sacrifice. You see vision. You see people who look into the future. For instance, the Sam Mbakwe Airport in Imo State, I've said it time and over here. It was not built by government money, or money from allocation, or money from crude oil, or money from it was built by contribution of the people. The contribution of individuals. Some people contributed money, some people contributed their labor to ensure that that airport was built. We are able to do that because if you look at an ordinary Igbo man, because that is the politics.
Remember, what we started with is we have political leaders, and we started by saying no, that we used to have before. And then I said, are you saying this based on what a political leader should do? Or are you saying this based on the fact that none does not exist? Or none does exist?
We have people who assume that title of political leaders. Okay. But truly, are they leading? And when you say you are leading, you have followers. Are the people following you? Now, take a look at it.
But they won elections.
No, listen.
They won elections.
That is what... That is
election, people killed and voted for them.
Now, listen. You have to understand the politics they are playing and the politics of ideology. Many of the people that comes out to vote during the that is the truth. One,
stomach infrastructure.
Because the system may go for impoverished. They became vulnerable. Because he translates here to what is happening. Okay, Tata Monday, that is the true vote. The people have cast a vote of no confidence on the political class. That is the truth. But will that solve the problem? The only thing that can solve the problem and put Igbo back on the path of development, advancement, and freedom is to have true Igbo spirited leadership. Well, agenda for the social freedom, political freedom, and even spiritual freedom. And that is what our platform BVI Channel 1 is anchored upon. All we are trying to do is to sensitize our people to understand that this is a political game. This is a political battle that we must win. There is no other option to it. There is no any other option to it. Because in the I say, give us freedom. Give us freedom. Those who are the political class. But are they interested in giving you this freedom I have mentioned? The answer is no. But we have all acknowledged that it is only those who are in the authority that can guarantee that freedom for you. The economic freedom. Look at what we are talking about, anti-open grazing bill. many of them remain adamant. But if that has happened, to be honest with you, by now, since 2 years till now, by now, if Igbo get benine, agriculture their way, boom. But these people are not interested to invest in what we have been advocating for. Agricultural revolution. I and the ADF party now. They push you for over how many years now? But when the government not interested, no, they are not. Now, here make a ban the massacre on the path of freedom. My bonayim were political leaders were foresight that can inspire the people, that can motivate the people. Can the people get restore back the confidence people were in the system? Although that nobody then want confidence, na that airport. That is the truth. Now, I need the kind of people who the template. They motivate our people. Let's say that governor Anambra State. And what if all they when we motivate all the estates in Anambra State, they will tie all their roads through public-private partnership. If they buy in the ready, it contribute money to fix their roads. If they buy the capacity, in each neighborhood, good medical centers. If they buy what it takes to transform every public school or the highly standard, even the private school, the obtainable today. They buy the capacity. I'm telling you the truth. If they buy the capacity, he creates jobs. The only people that can make it possible is those non-government. Only non-government where foresight, when inspiration, where idea that can see the future. Now we need somebody that is futuristic. People that can inspire the people. They will lead the people, they will enable the people, they will create the environment that will enable our people to maximize their potential. Now be if I need a good governance ministry. Now basozi can they buy any hotter? Because as na onwe ne bido na maro the Igbo identity, for you to know whom you are, what is deposited inside you, then you will not know who can bring out that potential anyway. Just like when I was playing football. Obo Onye, the age I'm a very good coach is somebody that can identify a potential star. One Ranaga no Malugo, if it deposited inside you, and how to maximize it. This is what we need today in the political arena in Nigeria. I need our first 11 Bolo stars. Bolo people who can look to Abuja eyeball to eyeball. See, this is what our people want, and we stand on it firmly. And Kamboga is Yoku, Obu na with true political leadership in Igbo. Southeast I mean Abuja 4 years. Yet Abuja, Southeast they transformed like Dubai. So what we need is leadership, inspiration, somebody, and we must get it right for us to embrace our freedom. Yeah, what about our package, our freedom, everything we want. Now let's come down to Ojukwu, the legend Ojukwu. What does he represent? At the time when it matters most. At the time when it matters most.
He stood for the people.
He stood for the people.
Sacrificed all the people.
Everything sacrificable. He did everything.
Nigerian millionaire.
Thank you. Now, we need that kind of man who can sacrifice everything. And let me tell you, whether I like it or not like it, today, only take you that picture as at now, today, I know why I said it. Because the people are not looking up to him. That is the truth. That is why Nafia is today. That is the truth. Now, he need the kita the kind of people that the government has seen no to a cake with issue all this crisis in the bani call lady. Obuna create jobs. Obuna our youths will let fanalo. Obuna na ejenu no go na village well access to medical service. Now na every time I see bata because now we are targeted. What I can more even young women now because of Ghana or fatality, bet and can move on up here.
Alright.
Why now more like this, or men with good medical service, get help here, now one. So all of these things are kind of Chico, Martian Azu, means me, all of these things they are embedded na good leadership. Oh, yeah, good governance ministry. Na abasu ozi. Can they buy any hotter? Can go get you? No, moment I get me. We will re-establish good political leadership and true Igbo spirit and identity, because that is our now. Finally, I got before I did a line. You go, Bona, EJ and then I contest the election. All so many political parties in football. Now, Euro Juku Kavan they use this one. Fanchani they use this one Euro Juku. Go on if you know the Euro Juku. Man, Juanya, equal any for Juku Kwanya. Ina Aramabia, or the Jebo Jukuja. Ina for that these are hypocrites. But the only way you can know who is going well in all, I say by their fruit you shall know them. Kempulon now na ame. Ya ka iji wee sị na anyị ga-agba mbọ fụ na ndị be anyị ji obi ọnụ chịkọrọ obi ọnụ nwee a political leadership ga-galvanize ya asị na ebe ndị Igbo kwasị na ebe ka ndị Igbo kwu and ebe ndị Igbo kwu ekwukwa m ya ọzọ ọ bụrụ na ọ bụrụ ebe ndị Igbo kwu onye ọnwụ na kwuo na ọ bụrụ ebe ndị Igbo kwu ihe ebe ndị Igbo kwu today bụ na ha chọrọ their freedom, which can only be guaranteed as of today. Restructure this country back to regional government. That is the irreducible minimum. That is the lowest nobody can accept for today.
Restructuring.
Restructure Nigeria, physical restructuring back to regional government, so that I want regional security by ourselves. In fact, I want our own constitution again, as it were before, so that obviously I chose it. If I give our constitution, I take a referendum. That is the simple thing.
So you are saying that, let me get it correctly. You are saying that what the people want is restructuring.
Restructure Nigeria to regional government.
Restructuring the country to regional government, where the regions will be somehow semi-independent.
Yes.
Where they can also have their own constitution.
Yes.
That can also govern them and then get some things done. But then, one would also say that restructuring has been a mantra by some political actors. But no, the sincerity is not there. Many people are against it, and they want the system to continue the way it is.
Exactly.
How do you get restructuring? Because we have had that in the first republic, whereby there was more like a regional government. We had, just like we were talking about, Empire Premier is the region premier. We have President Premier, Western region, and then we also have Premier, the Northern region. Was that. So now, how do you want us to go back to what we started in 1959-60 down to 1966 that did not seem to work very well? Because why didn't it work that time?
It worked very well. It worked very well. That was the only thing that worked in Nigeria for the first time. Regional government worked. All the regions of Nigeria were advancing at their own pace. That Southeast, Eastern region became the fastest growing economy in the whole world.
And remember, Wado was more busy trying to make sure that they waxed hard education. But then, Wado was busy on the issue of economy.
Exactly. They will commerce and industry. On over now, given that their own potential, build obia. Ndu go eje na beba na build nkeba. Onworo onye na eni bi anya ka obe totally ego. Because they might have been email. Now, people are now riding on the back. It is now the Nigeria we have today is the Nigeria of robbing Peter to pay Paul, robbing our people to pay people who are lazy and people who are unproductive. Today, unproductivity is now a reward. If you're unproductive, you'll be rewarded in Nigeria, and you'll be punished if you're productive. That is the kind of Nigeria we find ourselves, and that is why our people say enough is enough. Now, going back to how are we going to reverse it? Because it is a process. The way we are going to reverse it is having our first 11, We have our governors, our political class, our religious leaders, our socio-cultural leaders, all of them put together, speaking with one voice, going towards one direction. Ndị nọ na National Assembly ruo ebe a fa na-alọbi ndị colleagues fa na ndị Middle East, ndị kebibu na akpọba ndị Middle Belt, ndị North Central, many of them achọgokwu their own regional government. Ndị West na-ekwu the same thing. Ndị South na-ekwu.
But let's look at some of these premiers during the time we had regional governments, because it's important to look at the kind of life they lived. Remember, Zik was the first premier of the Eastern region, and then he was succeeded by Emma, and then he also had who was the first premier of Western region, and then he was succeeded by Akintoma. And then look at the people involved in this picture, and then you can quite okay, I think you can quite agree that so many things happened at that time, because when Awolo was there, people loved him, and then he was everything to the people, just as Zeke was to the people, and just as Madubelo was to the North. But do you think we have the right politicians to go back to that kind of politics? Remember during the period, I remember Samuel Ladoke Akintoma, the effort, the sacrifices he made, and to date that name brings so much power. But even so many things have happened there wrong. I remember even Moses Majeko Dumi was took over from him, and then possibly at a point get back to Akintoma. So look at all these pictures that happened there. Look at people, just like if you create a post, a position for somebody, and you don't have the right people to occupy it. That position in the do you think we have the right people, if we are to go back to regional government?
Okay.
The right people that can take up that position?
Oh, of course. We have people that can.
Likes of Awolowo.
We have them.
Likes of Emma.
I'm telling you, we have
of
them.
Ahmadu Bello.
Of course, but the problem is, are we giving them the platform? And I never the platform, the space to come and lead. That is where the problem is.
Can you imagine
because
a leader
who
just wouldn't have a house?
But let me tell you
for his own.
Let me tell you the problem I went over that, especially in Igbo. But now, generally, they believe good at the concept of politics of money. Only Jiego Cabanes. When people get no only Jiego, we go to a body for chichi. Farmers, Niyabi Vaneme, and if I make a tadeka, na arena, competitive arena. And currently, we have the worst of us in the pitch.
Abro best level
at all.
Abro second level
at all. The worst.
Okay, the worst level.
The worst. Where the real people who are supposed to be at the pitch are now on the fan base. Nozie food waka. Ejirego. Fage eke ndị mmadụ. Ndị mmadụ ejikwa enwekwa the time igeba ntị. Because ndị ezuru ori, some of them are civil servants, but the ezuru ego obodo. Other men that nwere ego fa yeke. Some of them were their personal businesses. Manafai akotoro corners. Soluko na involved within the non-government. Na ebube ego government through contract. Award or contract ebube ego amanlu. Some of them banazilo obodo Igbo. Many of them banazilo obodo Igbo. Because I believe on whatever Eboda no have no mequatalism. Now, the only way we can reverse it is one, the people. The people change our mindset. And all that good governance ministry G Tiyaru now sacrifice everything to come down on this radio, one of the pan Igbo radio anywhere na southeast. N'ekulu ndị Igbo. Ka agwa ndị Igbo okwu o never na-esi wee ghọta. Na ndị be anyị generally the people number one bi ebe a ga-ebido na ya. I change your mentality. Ghọta ozi good governance ministry. Fụ mkpa ọ dị na nwere onwe anyị a ga-abịa ma ọ bụrụ na anyị chịkọọ aka ọnụ chụọ ndị a maka ekwu No, no.
But you have to vote. You have to do that through the election.
Of course, now.
You have to go to election and vote.
That is what we are saying, and we are going to direct all this our energy towards it.
Right.
And when that is done, then you now have your champions. Gagamu Abuja, one day bani na ifaicho. And kambaku neziokwu enwete regional government. Be rest assured that na get our constitution. Be rest assured. Now referendum
you will say that it's part of the arrangement. By the time, remember, you can't have regional government if you don't have agreement with the north and with the west and then other part of the country. It's part of the agreement that once there will be regional government, definitely these things you mentioned can come into place.
Of course.
Let's open the phone line because many people are calling and we want to get them involved. We want to get you talking. We've been talking about the right leadership, political leadership in Igbo. Just as Chinedu Peterson would say that we don't have any, but there are those who assumed that title. But we used to have those kind of political leaders in the person of Zeke, Odunegbojuku, Emma, and so many people he called, saying that now we don't have such kind of leadership, and that is what we say. Let's quickly see much we can really take from callers. Good morning, you're welcome. Hello, good morning. You are welcome. It's good to have you. Are you there? Are you there?
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. And I'm Good Governance Ministry, the ambassador. The ordinary people competence. So what we are doing, trying to do is good governance ministry, which they do has been doing over the past 1 year. More than 16 months now, they have been on that radio station, making all the sacrifice, spending all the money without sponsorship, without funding from anywhere, without any politicians sponsoring what DGM is doing. I know over time, some people were criticizing us, actually saying that people are sponsoring him, people are giving him money, but we have seen that the young man representing good governance meant and he means business, that he has to be consistent. Now, the energy quality by so even if I need it for somebody. It was somebody. And when you fire trust, I get this to build the teacher or fair. I wasn't fire trust of the people. I trust of the people. Apologize. And yeah, it will give you well love. Maybe I have a lot of much restlessly. So, my contribution this morning is for us to trust the system we are trying to build, DGM. Trust you to do association that the young man has done. In fact, he has done something most people have not done. DGM has been on radio station for more than 1 year. I don't think there's any political party that has spent money being on radio program, being on TV, educating and sensitizing the ordinary people what to do and what business or governance is all about. So I want to thank you and give space so that other people will talk, but I want to still re-emphasize that is it. Now we get Gabayana. Ndị nọ n'azụ GGM, they are young people, vibrant young people, very aggressive, very consistent, and the professional people, and people who have their own money. They don't depend on anybody. People who have the knowledge, who are going to work, they buy because why don't you hire them? When you go to you have to get there because that they will look at how they were quality of 2020 knowledge. And we're in Ghana. What we are trying to do is to build a better society, not for us here, because we don't get to take care of ourselves, but for the sake of future generation, just like our parents in
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning. You're welcome. Remember, the person you start. Thank you. Nice. Good morning. Thank you so much. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to have you.
Can you hear me?
We can. Go on, please.
Yeah, I've been working so hard to get across to you.
You're welcome.
Honorable Tony.
Thank you so
I've
much.
been working so hard. My name is Odette. I'm reaching you from Lagos this morning.
You're welcome.
Usually in Ila. Yeah, my name is Woka. Some of us are grown up in this country, and we know that we've seen better days, especially when it comes to the Igbo nation. Igbo, mpaya nwa ọgaranya ka na ogbugbu ya. Anyị wee nọdụ wee kpayasị onwe anyị. Ibe niile ị na-ekwu, self-help, elota m oge a na-alụ airport ahụ, nke ọ bụ nke ọkpara alụ. Ị ma na ndị Igbo Union, ụmụ Igbo niile na-azụ afọ na ego paba na that airport. Ị ma mana kịta, isi onye Igbo weta oge eweta, onye na-achị aka n'ife o nyezie. O nwere ego o nyezie. O nwere ọ nwetakwa nke ga-eji okpuli egwu ihe. O jegodu ụzọ niile dị na South. Jegodu ụzọ niile dị na South. Ego ole ka ejide alụ ụzọ nwa? Ọkwa ọ dị ebe ahụ gọvanọ gị je na-alụ airport. Gọvanọ gị na-alụ airport mana ụzọ moto na-agba adịrọ. Ụzọ ọkada na-agba adịrọ. Ụzọ ụkwụ na-aga adịrọ. Ọlụ airport. Obodo ọchị ego bụ na-eche mbọchị a na Amerịka. Ọkwa mmadụ nwe obodo ewu na-ata ndị Igbo. Ebe anyị na-eme, anyị nọkwụ n'ebe Anambra. Olu onyinye a, anyị kpebe Enugu steeti na family election traditional primary ndị APC. Ọ na-aga Imo ka o si wee bido asụsa nke anwa. Eje aja, jegodu Aba ije kirie. Domestic creation a na-emede internally generated rating. Igbo na na-enweta na Ọnịcha Ado, ma ọ na-enweta na Nnewi, Igbo na na-enweta na Aba Nkwa. Ebe eji eme, ọkwa ndị a, ndị egbuo ndị a, oche ike eje kpọtala anyị ndị ukwuru, babụla egwu were anyị mebe target.
All right, remember, you have to really be very cautious of your statement. It's important you are cautious of your statement, please.
Get in touch with me. Makano money where I age. Not the academy.
All right, thank you so much. All right, she's saying that you should get in touch with her. That probably when you give out your number, whoever that wants to get in touch with you will do that. Remember, we're here to talk about good governance, and that's what you need to preach here. And most times, today we're looking at issue of leadership. And then there was a very interesting thing he said during that very statement. He said that if you have the right people in government, people will contribute their fortunes in any project. Exactly. They don't mind. As That confirmed that that was the case of the airport in Igbo State, where people contributed.
Igbo,
But it's a situation whereby people don't have confidence in your government.
They will never.
If they don't have confidence in your government, if they see you as somebody who stole the public treasury or somebody who has not managed, so when you call on them to support, they will not listen to you. That's what you're saying, that if you have the right leaders who harkens to the heart of the people. I remember Sambapwe. Remember why he was called a crying governor. Most times I remember the period he invited Joe Chegame, the president, to a particular road in Aba. Then Aba was in the present-day Imo State. Because Aba was in the present-day Imo State. So, and most times he used to cry when he's trying to make a case. Look at the deplorable state of roads in that part. Sometimes you start shedding tears. People started calling him crying governor. But to him, if the cry can get the attention of the federal government,
ọ bụrụkwa na nwoke abụrụ nwoke kama ọ na-esi afụ ndị be anyị na-ata ọ na-echie n'alụ onye ife na-afụ ụfụ ga-ebelili akwa.
How would it sound that your governor is crying?
Ka gọvanọ ga-esi wee malụ ụdị afụfụ anyị na-ata n'ụzọ when they are driving with SUVs. Ha na-ama gallop, jumping kama na jump gallop, ha na-adị efe ilie.
And then that cry brought Aladi Cheuchegarita back.
Of course.
All right, let's go back to our phone lines. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Daalụ nwanne.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
Oh, so sorry about that. We had something happen. What really happened? We have to call back. Please try and call back as if you can. Please try and call back. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome, please. Ensure you do not deviate from the issue we have. We're talking about leadership. Leadership, that's what we're talking about this morning.
To bring us into the consciousness of leadership, consciousness. I know political affairs. So I want us to translate this.
You deviated from what we are talking about. You said you cannot hear me. I mean, let's quickly stick to issues we are looking at. Most of you, when you come in, you'll sound emotional. And then you will be led out of what we are discussing, whipping emotional sentiment. Let's always stick to what we are looking at. We're talking about leadership. Having the right political leaders who will pilot their affairs to the people the way it should be done.
Yeah,
And we have asked questions about that.
so you even Maduku say that now Obo mention somebody like Abaribe. And that is wonderful. Now, how can we multiply many Abaribes to occupy all the senatorial seats from the southeast, all the House of Rep members, all the state assembly members, or the all the Rhinonia, Keka Abaribe, Suemete, Okwa representing Ndebeba, Okwa through political process. I can't the bani. Now the right people. All we need is to galvanize, be united. Oyaka good governance ministry name. Kachikonatan di bani on Igbo. Aichikonatan Onworo any man born of a woman that can thwart our decision.
When you governize, and then how do you take that decision?
Just like we've been doing. Good governance ministry is a political movement that will galvanize the people, that will bring the people together to flush out all these people.
Which means
Political process.
if you're talking about political process, you have to be very exact.
No, it's through election. It is true. There is no other way. There is no, when you talk about political process, the only way you can change any government is through through elections. There is no other way. That is the truth. That is why we have been saying that first of all, you have to identify the right person with the right motive. In fact, the person must come from within, inside you. Ona ga-abụrịrị one of you. Ona ga na-ekwu ife ị na-ekwu. Ona ga na-eje ebe ị na-eje. Ona ga-ekwenye n'ife ikwenye ya. Ọ bụrụ na ọ naghị ada eme ya, then that is not the person for you. Mana the only thing bụ, the people have to unite first. Ọ bụrụ na ndị mmadụ chịkọnata obi ọnụ together. Onwero any man born of a woman. Ihe a na-asị na erigi election na erigi law. That would be a thing of the past because ndị eji eri for election na abụkwa the ordinary people.
Ordinary people carry use rigging. So you're talking about rigging will be thing of the past if everybody gets involved.
Involved.
All right. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
Daalụ nwanne.
You're welcome.
My brother, I feel more of too much. What did you try to do with that? What did you do with that? What did you do with the governor? We have a government. And it's what we do with the government. If we go to political energy, if we go to energy to all these people, they kind of problem. Every Italian of we are not what we have.
1 million march, ban open grazing.
1 million march,
all the mmadụ ka ọ dịlị, all the general public, all the general public, ebe anyị kwesịrị ime ibe niile ga-adị ọfụma. Ndị ajọ ọchịchị anyị na-abanye n'ọkwa ọchịchị ma ndị be anyị.
All right, thank you so much. We are looking at time. We are looking at time. Just let's quickly allow us to come in. We are looking at time. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello?
You're welcome.
Hello?
Good morning. All right,
Hello?
you cannot hear us. To call back. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning to you.
You're welcome.
And to you, Chinedu also. Good morning to you.
It's all right. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Ana m ekele gị na ndị esonye n'ife ile sorokwa na-akọntribut ife a na-ekwu okwu ya bụ good leadership bụ tọpik etriti today. Lida abụrụ onye na-ewepụta onwe nọ ndị mmadụ na-esepeti onye bụ good leader. And ife nweta ya ma esi na boycott election. Onye akpata iji achọ ka isentesize ya n'ebe a. Mana kedu ka ba ga-esi wee bata? Ọ tụrụ balance
abịa oge ma ga-abụ ndị ga-atụ ya bụ elekshọn. Mgbe ị sị na ị ga-abaikọt elekshọn, ife ị na-eme bụ ị na-enye people opportunity to come in to govern you. And mgbe ọ bata ị ga-ebe akwa maka na mgbe ajọ onye batara were oche ọchịchị ndị mmadụ ga na-asọpụ na-ebe akwa. Ife isi ike ga-adị, ọnwụ ga-adị.
Thank you so much.
Anyị ụnụ biko ụmụnne m na election enwe good leader.
All right, thank you so much. We have to let you go because of time. We actually looking at time. Thank you so much.
Because no one actually even good governance. So you need good governance in them. May we allow by Jabas or I can 0810 420 7522 0810 420 7522 or 080 602212. Ịchọkwa ndị na-eso n'ife BVI Channel 1 na ozi anyị na-agbasa ụtụtụ ọbụla, efife ọbụla, anyasị ọbụla n'igwe okwu ịntanetị. Search ya BVI Channel 1. V Voice, then I International. Bia Voice International, BVI Channel 1. Ị gaa n'igwe okwu YouTube, ị ga na-afụ ozi anyị na-agbasa. Ị jee na Facebook, ị ga na-afụ ozi anyị na-agbasa. Ị chọọ ị na-esonyelu mụnwa personally, ị nwere ike saachị afa m Asụzụ Chinedu Peters. Asụzụ Chinedu Peters. Ị jee n'igwe Facebook, ị ga na-afụ ozi na-agbasakwa n'ebe ahụ. Ife anyị na-ayọ ndị be anyị bụ o kwere omume. It is possible for us to change the political landscape n'ala Igbo. Change ye ndị na-achị achị n'ala Igbo, weta ndị ndu ka anyị wee jeruo na obodo ekwela anyị na nkwa. Ya bụ ozi na-ewetara unu ka Chineke mezie.
All right, thank you so much, Peter, for your time. Thank you so much, everyone who listened. We are really complete out of time. We have to leave it till we come back to this again next week. My name is Tony. Please, everybody, the speaker, do have a